One. Today we're going to talk about Zombies. Zombies was a zombie board game before it was cool. Now let's take a look and see how this game translates to iOS. It's already been released for Windows Phone, so iOS is actually its second platform, and this game definitely is presented in 3D, which is a little different from what we're usually used to. So let's take a look and see if the game is fun underneath all of its fancy trimmings. Zombies is a fairly light zombie survival game. You have a player that you each turn do several actions with. The first action that you do is place a new tile on the board. This represents a building or a length of street. Buildings will contain zombies as well as other rewards, such as hearts and bullets. Hearts are used to reroll a combat die, and bullets are used to increase the number of that combat die, each of which you will need when combating zombies. The goal of the game is to either kill 25 zombies or reach the helipad and clear all zombies on the space and escape. Only one player can win, so this is not a cooperative game, and you'll have a series of cards that you can use that will either help you or hurt the other players. The game is fairly straightforward, and the cards take a little getting used to, but for the most part are fairly clear. Combat in the game is done with a 6-sided die. Your goal is to roll 4 or higher on that die. If you do not make your goal, like I said, you can use bullets to raise the amount or use a heart to re-roll it. If you ever run out of hearts, you will immediately start at the middle of the game board and will lose some of the zombie kills that you've gotten. Otherwise, the game is pretty straightforward. And the cards can sometimes give you weapons which will help increase your combat ability. The 3D look of the game is actually sometimes a hindrance, but mostly clear. What's interesting to me is that the 3D look is very childish and kind of cartoony. However, the cards that are included are the original cards from the game and can be fairly gruesome. So I'm not sure to recommend this for kids or not. I think you'll have to just check it out with this video and see if it looks like something you would like your kids to play or not. Really hard for me to make that call. The game does not feature online multiplayer. However, it does have achievements as well as leaderboards. These you can use to compare against other players and see how they've done in different situations, such as classic, survival, and in total zombie kills in the game. Otherwise, everything is pretty straightforward. You have some basic options that you can operate, which allow you to control different elements of the game, mostly in sound, as well as you can check out the credits of those that made the game. Otherwise, the game features several gameplay modes. There's a tutorial built in, which was fairly straightforward and explained the gist of the game, the standard game that you'd play on the tabletop, a game where the town is already built, a quick play game, and lastly a survival mode, which is quite interesting, where you are alone and you must survive and make it to the helipad alive. The game is a strange combination of board game elements and 3D graphics. Overall, things are fairly clear. However, sometimes the 3D animations can block views, as well as make it hard to tell what other players are. With the shading in the graphics, it's often hard for me to tell the difference between another player and the zombies, and I'm often having to press on the player's image to find out where they are, which isn't too big of a deal, but I feel like this could be much clearer, especially when you're zoomed out seeing the whole city. Otherwise, the controls seem pretty straightforward. Some of the in-turn buttons and things seem unnecessary and sometimes trip me up as I'm not realizing that it's actually the end of my turn. However, things seem pretty clear. The 3D look does not hinder the game too much, and I think it's quite fun. I'm definitely a fan of board game ports trying to be something more than just a straight tabletop scan of what you could play. It seems like the joy of this game is done in multiplayer, having fun, seeing how players get dealt with, if they die from zombies, etc. When playing alone, it's a little bit of a different experience, and I really wish there was some sort of online play, even if it was real time, to kind of get this group experience. However, if you do like zombies or want a light survival zombie game, this definitely is a great one. It's well done overall. The controls are fairly clear, and the 3D animations are really first class. There was really a lot of thought and work that went into this game. So the game works well, and definitely is fun to play on iOS. It might not be one of the classic iOS board games of all time, however, it's a great game, worth checking out. I definitely recommend you give it a look if you like lighter fare on iOS and something that can be fun to play locally with family and friends. So definitely give it a look today.